Hey, what's up guys? I'm Jordan. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a really fun video. I built a rig finally combining the Friedman IR-X and the Fractal FM3. I've been wanting to do this for probably a year now, or whenever the Friedman IR-X came out, and for whatever reason I just kind of postponed doing it. But now I got a gig this weekend and I really wanted to put it together and come up with a really awesome sounded rig combining the Friedman IR-X and the Fractal FM3. I know a lot of you guys have probably already done this. I haven't. I built this. We're going to test out the sounds, go through some of the things I'm thinking with choosing my sounds, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited for this rig. Before we get into testing that rig out, I wanted to let you know that my first single off my debut album just came out today. Literally, you can check it out on YouTube or all other streaming platforms. I'm really excited about this release. I've never made music like this in my life. I sat down earlier this year, late last year, and really put my mind together of really what I wanted to work on. And this album has been that. And I spent a lot of time working on the music, the songs, the recording process, and I'm really happy with how it came out. So go check out that song. Actually, let's have a quick little listen right now, and then we'll get to the video.
I've been drifting old for so long, I don't know where I've gone. The waves are crashing down, can't stop and go back now.
All right, awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed that. If you want to hear the whole thing, go check the link down below or any streaming platform. The song is called Castaway, and let's get into the video. Before building this rig, I had a very Fractal exclusive rig, and I didn't want to change that. I was very accustomed to the workflow of hitting pedals and turning things on. I love the sound. There was something a little bit more that I wanted that I think the IR-X is bringing and will continue to bring on stage. But before putting it together, there's many different ways I could incorporate the IR-X, and it might change over time. For this, I kind of want the simplest route possible, and that is literally, it's going to be guitar or maybe a wah pedal. I haven't decided, but I might go wah into the IR-X, and then out of the IR-X with speaker sim from the IR-X, go into the Fractal, and then use the Fractal for all my After Effects, which I use kind of a lot of reverb, delay, chorus, a solo boost, and maybe some more things in the future. That's what I settle for right now, because I didn't feel like I needed anything in the front right now, but that might change, because I thought about I could use it as like an insert in a way where I could easily have, you know, overdrives and phasers and whatever I want in front of it, a compressor maybe, and then have those After Effects as well and just have it inserted in there. So that it might change. That's not how it's set up right now. I'd love to also get MIDI for in the future. That'd be a sweet pedal board. If I haven't built this into a pedal board yet, but I could totally see building into a pedal board with MIDI so I can do everything on the Fractal and not have to really involve the IR-X as far as hitting buttons and things like that. But that's what I kind of use to set up. I just super basic guitar into the IR-X, into the Fractal, and then out of the Fractals, XLR out into, right now my interface, but it's going to be the mixing board at the show. Before we go over the sounds, I don't really have a great camera to show you while we're working through the different sounds. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the setup, and then we'll get into the sounds. All right, now the rig is just currently laid out on the floor. If I like this setup, I will make a pedal board out of it. But simply what's going on is guitar is running right into the input of this, and then out at speaker sim, everything, power amp sim, forget what they call it right here, but it's going out of that into the input of the Fractal, and then the XLR out of the Fractal is then going into my kind of recording software right now. These expression pedals I have fallen in love with using. I always watch guys like Neil Sean, Steve Morse, so many guys have things, Andy Timmons. I really want more expression pedals like this. These are so awesome. So this one right now is just the volume, and this one is one of the delays, the main kind of solo delay. So I can blend it at all times. I can just go in, blend the different, I can do swells. I can have this as a mute pretty much. If anything kind of goes wrong with my guitar system, this can be an instant mute. Also, there's the tuner mute, but it's cool to have this kind of for swells and different things like that. And I can kind of connect these together, and I've done this in the past where I will swell, delay, and reverb, or delay at the same time as the volume. It's really cool. Also, you can make, not with this rig, it's not going to work, but I've made patches where I have a wah over here, and this can change from a volume to a wah, so I don't have to bring out a real wah. So anyways, I just love these. Let's move over to the Fractal and see how I got it set up. All right, there you go. So my left button is always set to solo boost. And I will have to update these. Some of them are set to the wrong
kind of presets. Like this one, this one is set to be a drive, but there's actually nothing there right now, so it's really doing nothing. This is tap, tempo, and tuner. But this is how I have my board set up. I hold it down, and that brings up my next slot. So this stays boost. So I want my solo boost to be active on every screen. And then right now, this is chorus. This is nothing, so I'm gonna have to update this. Oh, there we go, nothing. Then you hold down this, it brings me to this view, which is currently, this was an octave pedal. It's kind of undecided right now. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna put here. This is my reverb. And then over here next to the reverb is a very important pedal. And what I've done here, this cycles through the channels of the reverb. So this is a very, I think we'll get into what it is later. It's a very ambient reverb right here. And I think it sounds wonderful. And then I can switch to another reverb and I can hold it down back to, I think it's a large spring right now. So that's the basic rig. And then I just hold down the reverb button and it goes back to my main screen if I want that. So that's how I'm kind of using the buttons. And then of course we have the IR-X, just how it is with the boost that I can throw on any channel. And we can do all that fun stuff. And we can switch IRs, switch the EQ and all that. And so that's pretty simple, straightforward there. So now let's get into the layout here real quick and see what I'm using. So I still have, if you see, I have that's the chorus, so I will use that. This is a drive and a comp block. I'm gonna have to take out. Actually, let me just go ahead and do that now. Perfect. Delete that as well, because I don't need that right now. And here's my volume. So it's, you gotta think the volume's after the amp sound over here, so it's not affecting how much distortion, it's just volume. It's like straight attenuation, which I love. And then also have so much CPU left, I gotta start messing with some effects. So delay, this is kind of my main delay. This is my delay that's connected to this. And what I went with is the 2290 with modulation. I love chorus on my delays. Let's go in there and see. Yeah, I need to high cut that. So I'm gonna high cut it. It was up to 16,000 hertz. I like it cut. I might even do lower because I don't want my delay being too bright. So we'll dial that in a little bit later. But that's what that is. And now this is an always on delay, actually. This is gonna be the tape, mono tape. For this gig, I don't need any dry sounds really. So this is be an always on kind of sound here. And it's got like 1, maybe 3 repeats, but that's absolute max. It's really just that main one. So that's what's going on with that delay. Then we move over to the reverb. This is my main reverb. This is I chose a spring for this. I usually do a plate. I'm still dialing in the spring here. So these settings may change, but I want the spring sound for this because it's more of a southern rock country, and I feel like the plate is a little too pretty sounding. Quite often. And then, so watch, let me go back to the pedals here. So I hold that, it goes to chorus, then I go to my crunch button, hold that, and then I'll get to my reverbs. And so if I need a really ambient sound, so right now the large spring's on channel A, I hit this, it goes to channel B, and then on the channel B of my reverb is I'm not even gonna try to say that word, Nimbostratus. I don't know. It's like a really, really epic reverb. Still got to dial that in, but I need that for some songs to kind of fill in space and stuff like that. And so I can instantly just switch to that for when I need it. And then when I don't need it, I can just go back to my normal reverb. And so that's the rig. Let's hear it.
If you're interested in learning how to improve on guitar, whether it's technique, legato, learning licks from your favorite artists, go check out my Patreon. The link is in the description below. Over there are literally hundreds of lessons with Tab breaking down everything as specifically as possible. Also, you get early access to things, whether it's music releases or YouTube videos, and obviously lessons. And also, I'm giving away a free 30-minute lesson every month. All you have to do is go sign up on Patreon, and I'll choose the winner at the beginning of each and every month. Thank you guys so much for the support. Let's get back to the video. Awesome, I got everything hooked up. We're plugged in. Let's go through the different sounds here. So this is stock delays on max and everything like that. First channel of the Friedman IR-X. You know what I might do do, I have it set to a certain mix on that delay. I want it actually a little louder because I'm full on that, so I'm gonna make a quick adjustment and then we'll get right back. I want the delay louder actually. All right, so now the delay is a little bit louder at the max position. Obviously I can blend it off or anywhere in between. Obviously that's a lot, but I can go in. Actually, I want some more repeats, so I'm gonna dial that in real quick. Unless I go in and turn the reverb up, this is actually the driest sound as of now. And it's gonna be tweaked, so it might get a little drier, but that's kind of where we sit really. And you can kind of hear that echo. The reverb's really loud, so I might blend it back. We'll have to see at the show and see what kind of works best. So right now we're on channel 1 of the Friedman. I don't remember what speakers I have select right now, but treble's about 2 o'clock, mid's about 2 o'clock, bass at noon, and then the gain right now is probably a little high. I'm gonna turn it down. Is that 3? Let me go down to maybe 2 on there. And like one of the things I love about having a real amp or real pedal is, you know, if I need to make an adjustment, easy peasy. I can just go right there, change it, super easy. I don't have to go into any banks and save presets and stuff like that. Yeah, that's a little bit better right there. And I really, this is probably too clean, honestly, for what the kind of majority I'll be playing. That's pretty clean, actually. But then if I crank up the delay and do some swells. It's kind of hard doing that sitting down, but that's pretty much kind of what be going on. Now, if I hit the boost on that channel, this is what we get. It's a pretty nice sound. It gets a little bright, so I'm gonna roll the tone knob down. A different tempo of the get that dialed in. Cool in the middle of solos to blend those different delays. It's pretty awesome. Anyways, that's a pretty nice sound. Still a little clean actually for a lot of things, but there's gonna be a few songs that's definitely gonna be the sound. Because I can pick it light. That's where I love the Friedman too. Now, and that's kind of one of the reasons I wanted to try this out over just using the Friedman preset in the Fractal, because that's what I've always used is the Friedman. There's a little bit I find on gigs that I need to be able to improvise and kind of spontaneous play a little bit. Everything's not perfectly dialed in at every show. Something about having that tube feel, I need to really get the right inspiration. If not, I feel it's a little static. Even not the Fractal. I don't want to talk about the Fractal because it's usually good enough. In most gigs, it's good enough. But there's some of that feel I lose in the Friedman because of those tubes in there. Really gets that feel back, and it allows me to play a little bit more spontaneously and be in the moment more. And not be like worried about my tone and like how it feels, because it's kind of obstructing the way I'm trying to express the solo on the spot, you know? And, you know, I'll probably adjust the EQ differently at the venue, because we all know that how your guitar sounds by yourself is completely different than how it's going to sound on the stage. And this might have too much lows, too much highs, or something like that to blend with the band. We'll kind of have to see that with the, but it's another thing of the beauty of the Friedman. It's just instant, no problem. And then right on the front, there's 3 speaker hours that I can switch between, which is great too. Now let's get to the cool stuff. Second channel here. on this channel, there's 2 IRs I'm still debating between, and I'll just have to see at the show and what's blending right with the Friedman here. What I like about this, especially the Friedman right here, is like that's pretty dirty, right? Like that's probably too much. I probably need to turn it down. That's about 2nd channel at 2 o'clock. But I, still if I roll down, I get a very nice. Add some delay in. Add the chorus on. Let me find that. Is it? I don't know if I'm gonna go with this chorus. I might switch it, but I love using chorus. The one thing I'm not liking about that particular chorus is it feels like it really sets back in the mix, which I don't want. I want it to kind of cut more and thicken the sound. But I'll tweak some more of that later. And then if for whatever reason, if I'm trying to do some really, really crazy stuff, I got the boost on the Friedman. I love the expression pedal for that. On bends and stuff, you can swell in as much delay as you want, and then for those fast runs where delay usually gets in the way, you just blend it back. It's just wonderful. Yeah, all right, now let's go back to a clean sound, channel 1. And then I'm gonna go switch the reverbs to the very ambient reverb. I can tell that it actually might be a little quiet, but I'll change that later. Some sweet sounds, do some kind of pedal stills, like how I do that. And then when that song's over, back to the normal sound. Anyways, I think that's the rig. I'm still dialing in the different sounds of balancing the delays and reverbs and chorus, and then whatever. I have so much CPU on the Fractal right now with this kind of rig setup that I got to really dial in and figure out what I want to do. In the future, I might use it as an insert so I can use like a phaser in front, overdrive in front, or different things like that, or a wah. kind of limited in that kind of regard, but I wanted to keep it simple. And I did like an A/B between my old preset and this, and it's just something about the Fractal sound, or sorry, something about the Friedman sounds just and feels a little bit better. I hope it goes over well, and hope I can dial it in perfectly live on stage, and I hope that it sounds as good there, you know, as it does here in the house. I think it will, but it might take some more tweaking, and I might make it, you know, kind of an update video of how this rig has evolved. But I'm excited. I haven't tried this yet. I don't really know why I waited on it so long, but I think it's gonna be great, and hope you guys enjoyed this video, got something out of it. And if you haven't already, go check out my song Castaway. Thank you guys so much for the support. There's a ton more music to come in the future, and gear videos and lessons, so stay tuned if you are interested in any of that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys back next time.